This video will cover the review and reflect for the topic of exponential and logarithmic equations. For the review, we are asked to solve for x in each of these equations. You may want to pause the video here so that you may attempt to answer the questions on your own. When we have exponential equations, what we want to do is try to make the bases to be the same. For 1/2, I know I can write that as 2 to the negative 1 power, still to the x plus 2 exponent. And then I can see that I can multiply these two, because if we have b to the m to the nth power, we know we can actually have this as b to the m times n exponent. So doing that, I find that the left side is 2 to the exponent of negative x minus 2. I did the distributive property of minus 1 to the x plus 2. Now the question is, can I write 32 as 2 to some exponent? And the answer is yes. That would be 2 to the 5th power. Now that I have the bases to be the same, then the exponents must also equal to each other. So now I need to solve negative x minus 2 is equal to 5. Adding 2 to both sides, I have negative x is equal to 7. And then dividing by negative 1, I find x is equal to negative 7. If we plug it back into the original problem of 1/2 to the negative 7 plus 2 power, that's the same thing as 1/2 to the negative 5th power. Remember, the negative exponent means reciprocal, so that becomes a positive 2 instead of 1/2 to a positive 5 power, and that indeed does equal to 32. Now let's try the second question. Our job again is to try to get the bases to be the same. So I have a base of 3 here, and 15, the only factors I have are 3 and 5, so I don't know anything that 3 to some exponent would equal to 15. Since we are unable to get the same base, I will take the log of both sides. Just because it's faster to write, I'm going to take the natural log of both sides. So I have 3 to the 3 plus x power is equal to the natural log of 15. Using the third property of logs, that one says that if you have the log of something with a power, you can write that power to the front and multiply it times the log of that thing. So I am going to move my 3 plus x to the front of my equation here. So I'm going to put it in parentheses, 3 plus x times the natural log of 3 is equal to the natural log of 15. I'm going to divide both sides by the natural log of 3. That will give me 3 plus x is equal to the natural log of 15 divided by the natural log of 3. This we could put in our calculator and get an estimate, but because Ms. San Pedro wants to have exact values, we're going to leave it just like that. Solving for x, I need to subtract 3 to both sides. So I find that x is equal to the natural log of 15 divided by the natural log of 3 minus 3. And that would be our solution. Now let's turn our attention to the reflect of the page. After the lecture videos, you should be able to state the 3 log properties. In fact, you should still be able to do that now before the lecture videos, as these were covered in previous videos. That concludes this video.